Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be doing something a bit different from what I usually do. I am going to be doing a movie review, and this does have spoilers, as in the beginning of the video. You be forewarned that this has a lot of spoilers. So I'm actually straying away from a lot of gaming for this one, but I guess it kind of connects to Roblox because Roblox is actually sponsoring this in their Battlegrounds event where you can win Cap Shield or Iron Man's helmet. And you can get 3 free gear off the catalog. You can get Black Panther's helmet, Ant-Man, and you can get Hawkeye's bow. Alright, so let's get into this. I'm going to talk about what I liked and what I did not like. But there are a lot of likes over dislikes. I really like this movie, so... Anyway, let's get to the likes. Right. What I liked about this movie is how Black Panther is introduced. Now we're already getting into some spoilers, so one more warning that if you haven't watched the movie, do not watch this. So Black Panther, he was introduced really nicely. They didn't give him a huge origin story. That's something I didn't really like. I mean, they just talked about it briefly, but I liked how he was introduced and why he's even there. He's first of all avenging his father for the death, who is blamed as Bucky Barnes for, killing his dad. It was really well done. It's short and sweet. It's really good. And I like how much runtime each hero gets. Each hero, it's not how important they are to the story. So you see, obviously, Captain America and Iron Man getting a lot of time on the screen, but you won't see Ant-Man getting much time on the screen. And it makes sense, and he gets a very small window of time, but it's still short and sweet, so it's really good. I also do like how this movie starts off because it did something a bit more fresh and original by starting off with something happening with crime. Now, this is a continuation from sort of Winter Soldier, which I liked how they continued the story from there, and then it kind of happens to go into an event which causes the government to push more towards control of the superheroes, which I really liked how it started off that way. That's what I liked about Amazing Spider-Man 2. It just started off with a really good thing. It started off with a story that wouldn't be good enough for a movie, so they cut it off to the first scene of the movie, which is really nice. And I also really like how this isn't just about Sokovia, because, this is obviously not about secret identities, because in the cinematic universe, you can obviously see that secret identities don't really matter, because people know who Captain America is, people know who Winter Soldier is, people know who Iron Man is, people know who War Machine is. It's it doesn't really matter. And Ant-Man just plain out reveals who he is to Falcon, because he's like, hi, I am Scott, and stuff. So they aren't just fighting over Sokovia, they're fighting over, of course, Sokovia, the government, and how they keep their powers, and they're also fighting over the people and how they think they should be handled. And they also, this is more between Iron Man, Captain America, and Bucky. They're fighting over Iron Man's father's death, and it's really well done out. This is also the longest Marvel movie, so if you have a lot of time on your hands, I'd say watch it. It's amazing. And okay, this is one of the dislikes that I did not like, was how some of these characters did not have any explanation to them. Let's say War Machine. We know he literally falls from the sky, and he gets a brief telling of what happens and everything. Tony's talking about what injuries he experienced, and we see what happens at the end. But he didn't really get much time, and I think he deserved a bit more time. And I have the same feeling for Vision and Scarlet Witch. You can't even they had plenty of time, but I feel like they didn't have enough. They had you see Black Widow. She had way more screen time than Vision and Scarlet Witch, which I thought was kind of weird. So, and also I love how in this movie, Bucky is more civilized. He knows who Captain America is. He is, the old Bucky. And I like how he always quips with Falcon. It's just really funny, those two. And now let's talk about one of the most hyped things that made a lot of people go see this movie, Spider-Man. That he was amazing. I can't. There's like nothing wrong. He was perfect. He acted like a teenager, sounded like a teenager. He was. I love how he was confused. He's like, "What should I do?" And he's always asking Mister, like Tony, like Mister Stark, "Should I do this or should I do that?" And I liked how he was unsure, unsteady, and thank God no origin story. Like, jeez, yeah, I don't know how he got his superpowers or anything. I mean, did he get like bit by? Did the spider shoot a web at him or something? I don't know. So I like that there was no origin story. That's really nice. And refreshing that we probably will not see it in Homecoming, which is his movie coming very late. Very late. I mean, that's kind of sad. And I like how they introduced Black Panther. Oh, wait, did I hear talk about this? Yeah, well, I like how they introduced him with his father and everything, like how exactly he became Black Panther and everything about him. It was really nicely done. So let's get some of the more dislikes. Now, one dislike was that this was mostly a superhero movie that the superheroes fought, and there's no problem with that. But I kind of wanted to see like towards the end that Iron Man, Captain America, and Bucky would start to fight the elite Winter Soldiers, which would have been cool. But I mean, it's not bad or anything. And I also didn't like that this guy, the main villain, was kind of confusing. You didn't exactly get what was going on. Like, is like, wait, is he him or is he dead or is like, it's just really, really confusing. And another thing I semi did not like was the text always showing up. Like, it was like it felt like you were watching a episode of SpongeBob and they were like, now we are in the Bikini Bottom or in the Krusty Krab or like something like that. So it would have been nice if that wasn't there, but I can at least deal with it. And I also one thing I did like about Panther, he was not a superhero who quips a lot. He was literally like they were fighting. He's like, "Hi, my name is Clint," and then he's like, "I don't care," and then he just starts fighting. He's not one to quip, which is pretty original because all of these people, all of these heroes have some sort of joking side to them. It and it was nice to see that Black Panther was all different. Even Vision had a few quips in there, and it was really refreshing to see somebody who doesn't joke all the time. And I also like his accent too. It was really nicely done. Chadwick Boseman, really good actor for Black Panther. One more thing I did not like about the movie is Giant Man. I feel like it was kind of rushed. He didn't have much screen time. He was too easy to take down. But I did like the attention to detail, how he's slow because he's a giant, of course, and the if you know how the pink particles actually work, he's slow because he's bigger and it's he's more lightweight because he's a 200-pound man, but he's still while he's a giant man, and this is the same when he's Ant Man. He's still 200 pounds. So I like that attention to detail, how he's kind of floaty and all that stuff. And one thing I didn't like how the ending fight it wasn't about like the government or anything. It was just personal stuff. I mean, I liked it, but I wasn't so sure about it. It was really like, am I sure I like this? I like it. The action was awesome. The action was awesome. That airport scene, that IMAX airport scene, beautiful. I'd watch it again and again and again and again. One thing I did not like at some points was some of the characters that used CGI looked way too CGI. You could see it like Iron Man and War Machine. They looked way too CGI when their helmets were off. They looked like they just like had a weird costume on and they slapped a head on it. It's just really weird. Also, in the trailers, Spider-Man looked way too CGI. I like he was very CGI looking in the movie, but not to the point that it was like crazy as in the trailers. I think the best characters they did the CGI with was Vision, Falcon, and Black Panther, mostly because they were the best. And I also like, also Ant-Man was a character that looked way too CGI, in my opinion, or just way too fake because some like say Spider-Man, he looks like a underoos popped out character, so that's why he looks so cartoony and CGI. It even bothered my sister a little bit, but I could still deal with it. It was still cool to see it like that, because I don't really care, but it was slight dislike by me. And one more good thing. Nobody dies. Thank God. It was a relief that nobody died, because just because you got another brother, Black Panther, doesn't mean you get rid of another brother. And I think it would have been better if they saved this movie, though, for when a lot of superheroes are around, because there's only, like, what, 12 heroes? And if you include Agent 13, that's 13. Wait a second, this is a lot of 13s. This is the 13th movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, too. And I also like how it leads up to Black Panther's movie in the end credits scene. I also love Spider-Man's end credits scene. It's really nice, really well done, and it's just, oh, this movie is awesome. I can't. This is the first movie review, too, I've done. And the only thing I found annoying about this movie wasn't even the movie itself. The most annoying thing was all the advertisement for the movie, because I didn't want to get too much spoilers going into this movie. And it was like TV spots everywhere, and I had like, no! And I ducked down or something. So the only thing I'm kind of disappointed with Marvel is they kind of put too much information out, because I'd be like, oh, I know that scene, or oh, I know that scene too, because I saw it in a trailer or a TV spot. And it was just like, wow. Also, I like how Rumbelow in the beginning, he sort of sparks it, and then this sort of starts everything, but it's really, just really nice how this movie was done. They had a good time for 12 heroes. All of the stories, everything that was plot-wise happening, always went back to Captain America or like Captain America and Tony. It was just really, really well done out. Better than Superman. Okay. I haven't seen Batman and Superman, so no offense. So I also like that in the movie someone does technically die, and it's Peggy Carter who dies, Captain America's first love interest, and that's kind of sad, but I mean, it had to happen sooner or later. Same. I also, one minor dislike was the Winter Soldier. He was like, the Winter Soldier, I liked him a lot. I liked him a lot in the movie. I can't deny that. But one thing I didn't like is the thing they always said. I mean, like, the thing that made him comply to missions. It just really annoyed me sometimes. Because they do it, like, a few times throughout the movie, and it's just like, this doesn't make sense. What are you talking about? Alright, so that's what I think about Civil War. If I had to give it a rating, it would have been 10 out of 10. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. Because I think it's a pretty good movie. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Captain America Civil War review. If you want any more movie reviews, just tell me what you want me to review. And so yeah, peace off.
You're gonna do a superhero landing. Wait for it!
Hey everyone.
Superhero landing! Yeah, that's really hard on your knee.